I mean, people know what happens at bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. So if there's a couple, the wife knows that, or the woman that is engaged knows that the husband to be is at his best friend took him to a bachelor party, or the man knows that. It just says
It doesn't specify.
it doesn't, of
Yeah.
course. It doesn't specify.
Even the Ten Commandments themselves, you just find, do not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So that's why a woman is very delicate, has to be treated, especially in marriage. He stopped. And the time when I phoned this time is still in Mazabuk, I phoned him. He said, no, my friend, I stopped now. I'm a well-behaved. I'm a husband now. I said, oh, that's good. Praise God.
Okay.
But the way I used to see you, I didn't even.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Before Marriage podcast. My name is Esnart Lungu and today's topic is quite interesting, but I'll be getting into it in a bit. For now, I just want to give a shout out to the deck. Thank you so much for allowing us to use your premises for our recordings. Thank you to Peach Professional Makeup Services for doing my makeup. And without further ado, my guest for today is Mr. Gift Njaluka, or Njaluka Gift. Does it feel weird when I say Gift Njaluka? Because you're used to it being Njaluka Gift.
To me, I'm comfortable. There's no problem.
All right.
Yes.
So do you prefer Gift or Njaluka?
Oh, you can start with gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Gift or Mr. Njaluka. Tell us about yourself, your introduction.
About myself, I'm Njaluka Gift. That's the way I feel like. Married, 3 children. They are all daughters. Yes.
Girls.
They are girls.
So expecting a lot of cows.
A lot. Yeah, according to our tribe, mostly, if you have so many daughters, that expectation is high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless if you're
depending
Indian.
to the way you nurture your children.
Okay.
Yes.
That raises questions, but continue.
Yes. I've stayed in marriage for almost about 15 to 16 years. At the moment, married to my wife, Mildred Miunga.
Yeah.
Yes, she's Tonga by tribe.
Okay.
I'm Lenje to my father's side.
Okay.
To my mother's side, Soli. Yes.
Okay.
We have stayed in marriage for that period of time due to the norms and values that mostly we attain from our church. I'm an Adventist. I'm an elder within the church. As you know, being an elder, usually there are a lot of issues, leading the flock.
Yeah.
Yes, issues of counseling, marriages, issues just within the church that arises from amongst the youths. You just dive in.
Okay.
Yes, issues of preaching. There's a lot.
Right.
Yes.
So you're a father, a husband, an elder.
Yes.
And you were just talking about how you're a
counselor
farmer.
Also at the same time.
Counselor.
Yes.
We're talking about how you're a farmer.
Yes.
And you're also into movie making.
Movie making.
That's like a lot of things.
There's a lot of things, I tell you.
Yeah.
In the movie industry, most of with the Tikambe Creations is one of our groups where we advocate within the community against GBV, other issues such as child development, drug abuse, early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. There's a lot that we do, and mostly we have used the film system to try and sensitize the community over those vices which are not good in our community.
Okay.
These things are there. We cannot run away from them. We need to make our community to be conducive for each and everyone so that we live a happier life.
Right. Now,
yes. Besides that, as a family, uh, I do also other things such as farming. I have a small garden at home
Okay.
where I plant vegetables instead of you going to the market all the time just to purchase the vegetables.
Just
It's
go to the
important that
garden.
at least within the backyard garden you are able to grow some of the
Yeah. You
vegetables.
save some
There
money.
are some also crops like the trees. I've planted some oranges there,
Ooh. Are they big? Can we get
bananas.
bags yet?
Yes, we have been consuming them. It's
Oh.
almost now thrice.
Next time we meet, I'd like a bag of oranges.
Yeah, no problem.
All
You'll
right.
be most welcome.
All right. Now,
Yes. To the part of the job that I do, professionally, I'm a teacher. I teach civic education, the religious studies. Yes, those are the two subjects that I'm majoring in.
okay.
Yes, I'm sure those are the major ones.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds like there's like
yes,
Tina go on the side. And I fully understand.
sure.
Now, what we're talking about today is people wanting to experience life last before I get into marriage.
Okay.
Now, before they get into marriage, rather. So there's these scenarios, and I was there's these people that were interacting, right? They were talking to each other, best friends. They're one of the guys. They're both men. One of the guys was going to get married, and then his best friend was like, "Dude, you're about to give up this life. Like you're just like getting cuffed. Like you won't be able to do any of these things that we've been doing together again. Like you can't admire the hot chicks anymore. You can't sleep with anybody that you want anymore. You can't even like call a prostitute. You can't have a one night stand anymore once you get married. All that life, you're leaving it behind. Are you sure you can manage to do that? Or are you sure you're ready to do that? Like that was that conversation, and it got me thinking like, okay, is that like are people ever ready, especially if that's the life that you're used to? Like generally you like your freedom, or this person likes their freedom, and then they meet this person and decide to settle down. Is that like is that a manageable life that people can live?
Yeah, that's a good question, but it needs someone to think about before making such a choice. Yes, because when we come to the issues of marriage, it's something which is serious. It's not just something that you just play, you kick like a ball. You have to make a tentative decision before you do that. In fact, we are even guided traditionally. Okay, we are told once you find a partner, a life partner, you have to be serious and become so committed. Okay, mostly this happens at traditional level, where you find even the woman uh, or the lady to become a wife is secluded, taken somewhere to be counseled by elderly women, so that that person is ready for that marriage. And you find even the young men, they are also taken somewhere where they are counseled by their uncles, so that they prepare them in advance for the marriage. Because once you go into the marriage, it's not something where you have to reverse back. It's a permanent thing where you have to do to cherish it. So it's very, very much important. So make a decision. Once you make that decision, there's nothing like going back. But looking at the angle that you have just brought the issue to the biblical part, it's not good to have premarital sex with someone. Though you have seen already there is someone that you want to go into that marriage, it's not in order for you to do what? To enjoy yourself in that issue of sex. Because you leave something, a trauma into that person whom you have thought maybe if I do it for the last time, then I enjoy, and then since this person will not be together, it leaves something as a mark to that particular person because we'll be thinking about you all the time because you had made that arrangement initially. So that's the thing. You have to do what? To refrain from that. instead of leaving that person in an awkward situation.
But
Because though you enter into that marriage, okay, you will still be remembering of what you have done with that person. And then comparisons will be made within that person that you are going to involve yourself into a serious marriage.
but
Yes.
people talk about how, for example, even the African tradition has started adopting it, where they have bachelor parties or bachelorette parties. Now, the ones that I've seen in the movies, they have, if it's a bachelorette party, this is for the woman. They invite a bunch of guys who look nice. There's male strippers, Kwazungo and Zat. I've not seen one here in Zambia. I don't know if we have any. So they hire male strippers and then they come, they dance for the woman because they look at that as at least enjoy yourself for the last time. Like you can touch this man for the last time, even for the man, it's the same story. You can touch this woman for the last time because once, and these are usually a day before the wedding day. So it's like the night before the wedding day, they go to their bachelor party or bachelorette party, and then their friends tell them, "Look, this is your last chance to have this kind of fun that you're going to have here, because after tomorrow, you'll be in lock and key, one person. You won't even be allowed to look at another person the way that you're looking at these people here tonight." So it's like in a way they say that is for I don't know if you can say closure, to allow them to take everything in for the last time, to say, okay, I'm going to have all this fun. I'm going to drink all the alcohol, get drunk, maybe possibly even sleep with these women or sleep with these men. And then after tomorrow, I'm never going to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, looking at that situation, is there any kind of faithfulness there?
I mean, people know what happens at bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. So if there's a couple, the wife knows that, or the woman that is engaged knows that the husband to be is at his best friend took him to a bachelor party, or the man knows that the woman that he wants to get married to, that he wants to marry, her best friends took her to a bachelorette party, and they know what happens in these parties. So don't you think that if they know and they're okay with their partners having bachelor parties, they not I'm not saying that this is what happens at all bachelor parties, but in most instances, these are the things that they've shown us that that's what happens. Yes, so it's like men come to you, they dance around you, they do they do all those things, and then afterwards, like, so in a way that tells them to say, look, this is going to help you maybe stay faithful to your partner, because then you'd have enjoyed for the last time. Like, this is you closing the gate for playing around. After that, you can move on and stay with one woman for the rest of your life, or with one man for the rest of your life, and not complain about it.
Now, if you bring in that aspect of saying you enjoy first, okay, but what if you through your enjoyment, you have contracted that disease, which is HIV and AIDS? Are you going to enjoy, though you go into a serious marriage? Still, it will still not augur well. It will affect you. And even the person that you want to go in with. Okay, suppose that person, the upbringing itself throughout her life was faithful, and you have enjoyed there. And then do you think that you are going to match together? It will be so difficult. It will be so difficult. You are not going to enjoy in that because within the shortest possible time, you find complications now arising within the family, because you have played a lot with the other ladies outside, and your friend has not played in that. And what will come into your mind, you start now still sneaking out to go and meet those other ladies. It will be very difficult for you to control yourself, because you have made it as a habit to move with different women. Though you be in that marriage, but it will be not good. You will not even enjoy, because you are used to such kind of life. Your friend is not used to that. So to me, I would say, anyway, perhaps you just put it the way you take it yourself, because of you had already started doing that. because it will be difficult for you to keep that.
Now, you're a marriage counselor, and if you're in
Yes.
church a lot of the times, I'm sure you've seen instances where I'm not going to check guys here, like, you know that guy is Vera, and then he comes to you and say, I want to marry this girl.
Okay.
Haven't you had those scenarios?
No, scenarios are there. But the first thing is you go to the principles of marriage. As I alluded already, saying no, mostly in these marriages, you find the problems that comes in is because of the upbringing. That's where the center is. You will find that the person, maybe the way you have put it yourself, this person was truant, used to run here and there with the other ladies. Uh, you find though they will enter into that marriage, it will be another issue of which you find that that control will not be there within the other opposite member. So it's very important that once you are used to that, it's better you leave it for good. And then you say bye, and then you enter into that marriage, okay, which is a serious thing. Once you enter into that ring, then it becomes something very difficult for you to reverse back.
Do you have
Okay.
examples of people that have used to behave like that before they married, and then after they marry, they settle down and they're no longer back in their playful ways, they're faithful to their partners, like for a long time, they don't even, like, you don't hear, maybe you may not hear the scandals, but then they just completely shift just because they got married?
Your examples are there. I've had one of my friends at school. Okay, when we just completed, I decided to have someone at least to marry. Okay, but I used to know that friend of mine as a truant friend of mine in terms of ladies or girls who would chase one from another. Okay, and the time when we used even to say no, enjoy life as you are still a youth. So what I'm doing is I'm enjoying the life. Okay. But immediately when that friend of mine decided to go into the serious relationship in terms of marriage, he stopped. And at the time when I phoned this time is still in Mazabuka, I phoned him. I said, no. My friend, I stopped now. I'm a well-behaved. I'm a husband now. I said, oh, that's good. Praise God. But
Okay.
the way I used to see you, I didn't even come to the point of thinking that you can even say to yourself like that. Okay. And usually, the way we were brought up, you find in the village, usually the old ladies, our uncles used to tell us, if you as a lady coming to the extent of moving with girls or boys all the time, your fingers will grow
Long.
long.
They taught me
Okay.
that too.
So they used to say that, and that made it the young ladies at least to stick to the principles. Before they are married, they should not sleep or have sexual activities with the boys or the men. So that used to deter that. So it used to help a lot. You find the young lady who just grow up to that extent of wanting now to be in the house of someone. So it used to be funny. Of course, we used to laugh, okay? But at least it left some education into each and everyone. So we enjoyed that.
Now, don't you think
Yes.
that muntu akabola chita discovered benzoti nama chabe my parents apa manje ningasobere nachikwata I will marry but still nizasobere because anatina machabe makolo benzoti never boza chabe bonse.
Yeah, those are issues you find after testing. That's when you just admit to say, oh, this thing is nice. This thing is nice. And for you to come out now, it becomes so difficult. And most of the young ladies, sometimes you find it becomes a habitual thing. You just continue going with another lady, and at the end of it, they are not married. You find men who come in and say, oja ni ule oja. Anajaira so chape kwenda na wamuna, and it's not a material type for the marriage. So sometimes it comes in that way.
marriage material. People talk about like marriage material a lot, like mkazi muntu afunika nkale mkazi kika. Why is it only weighed on the woman's side? Like you said, you have a friend and tamanga na so I had one woman left front or center.
Yes.
But ukapeza kati ni mkazi azakamba sasa kakukwatira hapo iwe na masobera yako haya. Why are people so heavy-headed or handed on the woman as opposed to the man? Because probably a difference. Mukazi ngatasobera like different male sexual partners before she gets married. She's got male sexual. She's not sleeping with herself. She's sleeping with the men. Even the men, of course, are sleeping with the women. But akafuno kwatira mamuna apeza afuno endo sakira mkazi ati mkazi kika. Mkazi manje ni unaona nga kudala wakazi wenango, and then you now want to find somebody that's not like the women that you found. Isn't that unfair?
Yeah, to the other part we can say it's unfair. But looking at it, a woman always is cherished. Okay? Mukazi kambiri amapasiwa olemu. That's why you find even the members, they say, buhule wamwa muna sivu mapaya chani, nyumba. And if we go biblically, you would find even the time when Magdalene was caught up in the relationship. What happened? They first got the lady and took that lady to Jesus. And Jesus started writing on the ground. And then he pronounced that if there is anyone who has not sinned, get a stone and throw on this woman. Okay, what happened? Each and everyone is scampered. They disappeared. So usually the woman is very unique in the eyes of God because she's the one who brings up life on this earth in terms of generation to generation. So that's why a woman is very delicate, has to be treated special. If you, as a woman, you start now promiscuting, going around, mostly your name will be pronounced as compared to the man. Yes. They will say ni hule. But you find to a man mostly bazankala chabezi. So that's why mukazi afunika kuzile mekeza.
But these days, things are a little bit different because you find that people are judging this woman still to say samvera atamanga going up and down, but still akwatiriwa. And then pezi katikuli mkazi, she's decent, tamakala chepa nyumba, azibopika, aziwa kulemekeza muna wake, like she was very well taught, well brought up. But mamuna mkwatira so.
It depends to the community where you are coming from. Okay, like my community is more to my compound. Bamaziva kuti uja mkazi wa soja ni hule amatamanga na uyu anaenda kwa na uyu anaenda kwa na uyu. Bambidi wamina wamakwatiriwa mostly there are those maybe they find men coming from outside their communities. Maybe anachoka kutali. Okay, you are in Lusaka, maybe anachoka kuchongwe. Abwera to live in that community doesn't know the background of you, that particular lady. Ndiye bamene bamapeza mwayo uta no, I think alishabebu ino, because they will go around and consult. They will say banzake mbota no, alishabebu ino, boy continue ni mkazi wa bwinoja. Okay, but not within the locality. You will find it's very difficult because bambiri bazaka mbota ni ule ujo kazi ngenesa mujo zazi ngenesa ma problems. So kumafunika yakuti at least mkazi afunika kuzile mekeza. Okay, for you to find a better home.
But if the Bible says, or not, is it the Bible? I don't think it's the Bible. But there's common talk about a man leading in a relationship and a woman following and supporting. So if generally in society the behavior of men is that of sleeping around, then what example are you setting? And then if the woman decides also to sleep around, yankalan problem. But then again, guess you're saying that a man is supposed to lead by example, because when you marry, you be the head of your home. And if the head of the home is behaving in that way, and then you come back, do as I say, not as I do. Oh, and I'm going to be sleeping around you. Don't sleep around, just sit. I'll come and marry you when you come, when I'm done playing around.
So you see, that's a good observation. Usually it happens. That's why I said mostly mwamuna kambiri. Okay, makolo swama mugaidinga maningija, because they look at him as a hunter. In short, as a hunter. Okay, mostly the ladies are just confined. You find they confine themselves within their home, receiving the guidance from the parents. So initially, okay, they are bringing our culture. We have just taken it that way. Kuti olo mwamuna achita misbehave because mwamuna ni olimba. Okay, but what comes forth after misbehaving? That's where the issue is. That's why makolo watu, the uncles, they used to say mwamuna naiwe kungankale oti mukazi eve ankala restricted, but naye mwamuna ufunika ankala careful because mwamene uyenda muja ni vambiri vamene uzakumana navo. Okay, is either uzagona na mkazi wamene ali na matenda palasi naye wachita bwanje wadwala. Is either maybe uzagona na mkazi anaferewa. Okay, according to tradition, ukagona na mkazi wamene anaferewa naye uzankala chani affected. Okay, so bamakambirato, that's why bamakamba oti mwamuna enda but ngati as long as that mwamuna was brought up nicely sazapeza vili vonse, because a man is always steady in terms of the doings in life. Vakazi mostly sometimes they are weak vessels. Kambiri you find vavichitiramo chabe, at the end of it you find mukazi asoba chani ulemu. So peza kauti na marriage it becomes so difficult. Vambiri upeza chabe akula chabe just like that kulipa mwamuna amena abwera. And you have seen, if we take it in a modern society, okay, you find on the social media who are advertising most in terms of marriage, vamakazi. Okay, no ine nankala 40 years 30 years kulipe mwamuna amena chita bwanje amena abwera. Okay, kuline. So most of it, the majority are ladies. And look at Kavarido even by my social media. Vakazi this time manje. Okay, bamba na kuvula chabe manje. Mwaona katiende chechi ntako. So that maybe kungankaleko vaja watu wavele wazayanga nako ta maybe paja ninga chitebwanye ninga gwepo, so that at least nipezeko mkazi. Okay, but it's very dangerous with what is happening now. It has affected our societies. We don't know the genuine lady that is capable for the home.
Now, the Bible says, so fornication is a sin. It doesn't say women don't fornicate or women don't commit adultery. It just says...
It doesn't specify.
It doesn't, of course. It doesn't specify.
Even the 10 commandments themselves, you just find, do not commit adultery. It's general, both.
It's general for both. Manje, tinaisho sakuti, idea yonkalati, mchoipa maningi, if it's the woman that does it, as opposed to the man. Like, where did that come from? Because according to the Bible, everyone is equal. We're all the same. It's not like just because you are a man, the things are going to be different for you than a woman. Of course, we're coming from a time where even like even preaching, sometimes a woman would not allow to preach in the synagogues and all of those. But generally, especially in the New Testament, everybody is equal. So where did the idea of favoring men's sins more come from as opposed to a woman's sins?
All right, I'm sure perhaps I've said it. It's the issue of the traditions and the customs. That's where it comes in. And usually you would find men, they would go out for hunting animals and what. The ladies, they would find themselves confined within the home, okay, taking the chores here and there, okay, traditionally, okay. So that's where now the distortion came in. But initially, biblically, a man and a woman, they are equal. Because if you look at even the creation by God himself, God the rib, okay, from the middle part of a woman, showing that there is that equality. A woman should not be a slave within the home.
Now, okay. So sorry to cut you short. You've mentioned tradition and Bible.
Yes.
Now, traditionally kuvikonga. From what I've learned, I'm Senga, by the way. Okay. So I haven't done a lot of research, but from the little that I know, as a Senga woman or Senga women, traditionally, it's like they are free to sleep with whoever they want. It's like today I can be with this man, and then tomorrow with another one and another. It's like, it's like in a setup of huts, for example. You say, oh, I'll go in that hut today, and then if I go there another time, find there's someone else. Oh, okay, I'll find someone else, and that's like traditionally normal. When you look at our African traditions, they are completely different from, they're in contradiction to what the Bible says, which means that most of the changes that we've implemented as Africa are only after the Bible was taught to us, not because we want to change those things or because we agree with them. It's only after the Bible was introduced to Africa that the issue of morals became a thing, and the issue of one man, one woman. Tonga tradition,
Yes,
you're
of
allowed
course.
polygamy. There's a lot of traditions. There's some traditions within Africa where the father, immediately he go his puberty, he's the first one to sleep with her. Before a child gets married in some other traditions, first of all, it has to be the man, the father or the uncle that has to. Some of them even have like lines of people waiting for them after they've hit puberty just to taste, to say, oh, are they sweet? Are they going to please their husbands? That's most of the tradition that we have. And that only came after the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I can't object to that. We have, looking at the tradition itself, of course, it doesn't mean that we never used to believe in God. Okay,
We had our own gods.
we had our own gods where people would meet under the big tree,
Yes.
a big stone, and then they would do worship through the ancestral spirits. Yes, of course, we diverted a bit if we come to tradition, because we try to twist the Bible, what it says, of having one woman at a time, or the wife at a time. The way you have cited, you have said, the Tongas and what? Yes, Tongas, they are good in polygamy type of life. Okay, that's their tradition. That's their tradition. But the fact is that the Bible, of course, others, they even quote. They say if Solomon was able to have so many wives, so many
Yeah.
concubines, who are we? Okay. They even cite other examples. Abraham is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. They give those examples. Then they adopted that system of culture. But on the other hand, God promotes that each and every man should have one woman. Okay, that's the reason why you find in the Garden of Eden, brought in the marriage and ordained the marriage between Adam and Eve. Okay, did not say, no, I'll create different Eve or different ladies. No, no, no. One person. That's why even in the Bible mentions that it's not good for a man to live alone. Okay, it's better you find a companion. The Bible approves that. And the marriage which is sacred is between a man and a woman. So we cannot say maybe polygamy, maybe God can second that. It's just our tradition. Sometimes we can say, sometimes we say selfishness. Okay, you want to have so many wives. What about others? They want also to find someone to marry. Now, if you get all of them, it means you are selfish, and God does not like a selfish person. Okay.
Statistically, there's more women than men, so it's
Of course. Of course.
Mr. Njaluka, you have to close this.
Thank you.
Right. Your closing remarks about this topic for today.
All right. My closing remarks are that let's remain faithful. Even the time when we go into marriage, it will help us to build our homes. If we neglect that, then our homes will be in cracks. And no one would like to live in the house which has so many cracks, where people are able to see inside. So we need to cherish that. Let's follow the tips of marriage as written even in the Bible, even under our tradition. We cannot run away from our tradition, but we need to adopt the rightful system for our marriages to stand forever. Right. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Njaluka Gift, it's been a pleasure having this conversation with you.
Thank you. You're most welcome.
All right.
Sure.
All right, and that's about that. Let us know in the comments. Would you go have like a one night stand bija before you get married to someone, saying, oh, I know I'm not going to have someone else to sleep with after I get married, so ngashiteko kalast kwendo so kalast before you're bound in that ring? Or would you rather just or would you rather just say, for the rest of my life? What's your take? What are your thoughts? what would you choose? Thank you so much for watching today's episode. My name is Esnart Lungu. Until next time, bye.
Bye bye.